Earlier in the semester, we had the opportunity to talk about DI issues, and today I want to talk to you about another issue that is a big topic of conversation under our current administration, and that would be ORR's role for unaccompanied minors. So, before we get started, are any of you familiar with ORR? Okay, by the show of hands, I can tell you what that is. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. Every year, tens of thousands of minors arrive at the U.S. border without a parent or legal guardian. By law, these minors must be placed into the custody of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, or like I just mentioned earlier, ORR. The goal is simple, it's to provide shelter, reunify children with family when possible, and ensure that their legal rights are protected. Today, however, ORR's role is changing. Policy shifts are affecting how long children remain in custody, how easily they can reunite with family, and what protections they have. Because even though they're minors, they still have, rights. Understanding these changes is essential if we are committed to upholding child welfare systems. So, recent policies have expanded information sharing between ORR and immigration enforcement agencies. According to government reports from 2025, ORR now shares sponsor information with ICE, which has led some potential sponsors, often being family members, to hesitate in coming forward. So, when a minor travels to the United States seeking unification with the sponsor, a sponsor unification process must be initiated. Sorry. In order for this to be initiated, the sponsor must agree to all requirements. Under our current administration, few policies have been implemented that have discouraged potential sponsors from proceeding with the unification process. So, policies like proof of income, DNA testing, fingerprint testing, background checks, everyone in the household getting background checks and fingerprint testing. So, this is kind of a scary process to go, currently with how times are at this moment. So at the same time, funding for legal services for unaccompanied minors has been completely frozen, and this has led to fewer children, actually all children, having access to legal counsel during their immigration proceedings. A couple weeks ago, I accompanied one of my minors to his first master court hearing. The minor is 13. No family, no way of obtaining legal representation. All the minor could do was, excuse me, all the minor could do was ask for more time. The judge granted him more time. But the judge also made very clear that if this minor did not have any form of legal representation, he could either, represent himself, waive his rights, and the deportation process would be initiated. So this was kind of hard to see for me, kind of new to me as well, because these minors currently lost any type of representation they had, and it's just a prolonged stay, that they are doing. So longer stays in ORR have now been documented, with the average length increasing by several months compared to 2022. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics consistently shows that prolonged stays in detentions like this, even in child center facilities, can negatively impact children's mental health. So, this is all happening right now. Family reunifications are slower, fewer children are receiving legal representation, and then children are spending longer periods in custody. Just because reunification processes are just much more difficult now. These outcomes risk shifting ORRs away from its traditional child welfare mission, right? It was seeking reunification, and that was its main goal, child safety, and it's kind of just more enforcing immigration laws at this moment, basically saying if you're not here with status, you can't proceed with this unification process. So, in order to address these challenges, several steps can be taken. And one of those steps would be limit enforcement related data sharing. We need to establish clear boundaries between ORR and immigration enforcement, focusing OR's efforts solely on child welfare as recommended, as it should be. So, and then another way could be increase access to legal representation. We need to reinvest in contracts that fund legal aid program for minors in custody. Studies show children with attorneys are significantly more likely to have successful legal outcomes. And last, enhance post release services, expand support services that help children reunify successfully with family members, including education enrollment, medical care, and mental health resources. These reforms align. These reforms align with recommendations made by organizations across the political spectrum, including the Migration Policy Institute and the Government Accountability Office. If these reforms were implemented, children will spend less time in custody, more minors will have legal counsel and full access to due process, and families will feel confident in, initiating and getting started with that sponsor vetting process. If these reforms are not implemented, children may remain in shelters for extended periods of time until they age out. And that's bad because when they age out, you know, we have to report that to ICE, and on their birthday, they are picked up and taken back to their country of origin. And, sometimes these minors leave their country of origin because they have no family and they're seeking a better life opportunities here. And ultimately, they're just taken back where they're running away from. So, um, clear policies and stable funding will help ensure that OR maintains its focus on protecting the vulnerable youth. So I encourage all of us to support measures that protect the integrity of OR's mission. And we can do that by contacting our representatives or your representatives to express support for child welfare centered reforms. Support organizations that provide legal and social services, to unaccompanied minors, and stay informed and engaged in respectful dialogue about policies affecting vulnerable populations. By taking these steps, we help ensure that ORR continues to fulfill its role, and that is to provide care, safety, and opportunity to children who arrive alone, seeking refuge.